Wallace. Wallace finds top shelf back corner. Carlow is going to take the 4-1.
Welcome to the season preview here on the Carlow Sports Network of women's basketball 2020-2021. I'm Sean Meyers, joined by the head coach in year number 2, Albert DeSalvo. Coach, thank you for doing this today.
Thank you.
It is certainly a very interesting off-season. How are you and the players feeling heading into the basketball campaign?
So we're feeling pretty good. We gave them some workouts to do in the off-season. They did a lot of running, did a lot of lifting on their own, and they're excited. They see that it's a good-sized group, and they see they want to really take it to the next level.
You mentioned some of the off-season workouts you had the players doing. How did COVID sort of alter your plans originally?
Well, I was hoping to get into a summer league this year and have a team participate in that. Obviously, that didn't happen, so we gave them a little extra to do on their own at home.
When you look back at last season, how did you evaluate the team's performance?
Well, the injuries we had really hurt us. It hurt us at the wrong time. Having Emma, not be able to play as much with her knee and having to come out, and Delaney getting injured. But overall, I think that we worked hard. We did a lot of good things. It could have been better, and hopefully it's going to get better this year.
You had been with the program as an assistant coach. Last year was your debut as the head coach. So what did you individually learn about yourself and about this team?
Well, I learned that I'm really a nice guy, and I need to be a little tougher sometimes on certain things. My team respects me on how I am, but there are certain things that I need to do a little bit better, and that's going to come with time.
You mentioned before Emma and Delaney. They were two terrific players. Emma Stilley, one of the best in program history. Delaney Daly, Caroline Willig, they all moved on due to graduation. What did that group mean for this program?
Having that group, especially Emma, with what she's done for this Carlow University basketball program, words can't explain her rebounding, her hustle, her work ethic. It's unreal. And the same thing with Delaney. Delaney works hard too, and Caroline she was like the glue. She kept everybody together.
Was there something that they kind of passed down to the players who are going to be back this year?
Yes, they passed down that you should never give up. You're never out of a game. Doesn't matter what the score is. You always fight back. You chip back at a little at a time to end up getting the victory.
Who do you look at for the key returners this year? I'm
looking at Ashlyn Jonczak, number one. I'm looking at Megan Ost as another, and also Keegan Brownlee. I think our shooting is going to be very well put together with the team we have coming back.
You have a lot of new pieces as well. 10 freshmen, that is a significant total. Who among them has impressed you so far, and overall, what are your expectations for those first-year players?
Well, these freshmen that I recruited have a little bit of everything in them, in a sense where I've got some bigs. I recruited like 3 6-footers. Rebounding is going to be very important for them. I've got some guards that are about 5'2", 5'3", 5 foot. We're going to have speed. These freshmen, they're going to bring speed. They're going to challenge the upperclassmen, which I really wanted them, that part of the game to be. And I think our shooting is going to be really, really put together this year.
You mentioned it's a versatile group that you brought in. How do you envision your style of play this season?
Fast. It's going to be a fast play. It's going to be a lot of pressing. We're going to still play some zone. I think our league, the zone works for us as a team. I think pressing this year is going to be really, really big for us. We're going to get turnovers. We're going to get easy baskets, and that's a big part.
3 seniors move on. You now have just 1 senior on the roster with Ashlyn Jonczak. What are the expectations in terms of the leadership?
Well, I put Ashlyn with Megan as a captain, Megan Ost, and Clara Wilson as captains. You have Megan, who's a very calm person. You have Clara, who is an upbeat person, and you have Ashlyn, that is generally a professional person. She just presents herself together as a professional person, and I think those three will gel very well.
What were some of the goals you had in constructing the non-conference schedule this year?
To be honest with you, our non-conference schedule, I really looked at less travel, a possibility. We're playing Penn State New Kent, playing Penn State Greater Allegheny. I tried to keep home a little bit. I wanted to make it difficult, but I wanted to also make it competitive for the freshmen. When they get in, they can see the different style of basketball that is played in the River State Conference and in the non-conference schedule.
And certainly COVID was a factor in everyone's scheduling this year as well.
Yes, picking up teams, losing teams, it's tough because of the way the COVID is and the way the testing is. I'm thinking of the school more than I'm thinking of basketball games right now.
When you look at your conference, the River State Conference, what jumps out?
The top conference is going to be very difficult. Rio did a nice job recruiting. West Virginia Tech is always good. It's funny because the girls that I recruited are almost the same girls that those schools have recruited. Some came to us, some went to them. The competitive part this year is going to be really tough for us to make that big jump over a lot of schools, but I think what you're going to see is the middle of the pack being very, very competitive, which I think will be.
You have your assistant coaches back from a year ago, Madison Mosellum and Bria Rathway. What roles do they provide, and what are their best qualities?
Well, Bria does a great job with our defense. She's a defensive coach, and she does a good job recruiting. Madison, she does our offensive coaching, and she also does a lot of things in the recruiting pot where she'll tell me about players. I'll go and see players if I have an opportunity. And we work really well together. I give them the opportunity of doing things. It's not like, my philosophy is if you're getting to work as a college level and you need to go out there and branch out and bring players in here, it's not just my job.
When you talk about getting ready for the season, you get to a point where everyone's just antsy to play basketball, play against other teams. Are you to that point yet?
No, not yet. I don't feel we are yet. I feel that they're excited that October 15th is coming. They know that's the first official practice, and the preseason stuff will be over with the lifting and the running and things like that. What makes me a little nervous is seeing some of these freshmen in the competition in the River State Conference from some of the schools they went to. They really have no idea until they really sit on the sidelines and watch before they get into a game.
Lastly, Coach, what's your favorite part of being here at Carlow University?
Obviously the players, my coaching staff, the athletic department in general. It's they go out and they do everything they can for us. They help us any way they can, and they give us a Division I program in the sense we're traveling and eating and stuff like that, and they make it very fun for us as coaches, I feel.
Hopefully it is a fun year, this one on the horizon. Coach,
I hope so too. Thank you
so much for taking time. Albert DeSalvo in year number 2 guiding the Celtics women's basketball team. We continue here on the season preview for Carlow women's basketball with the only senior on the roster, Ashlyn Jonczak. Thank you for taking the time to do this today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Certainly the last 6 months or so have been a lot different for everyone. How has it affected your preparation for this basketball season?
So there's definitely we usually have summer league, which is really sad we couldn't have summer league because a lot of the players look forward to that. Maybe even going to the gym. Gyms were closed for a while, so people couldn't get to the gym. And then I know that I still, my dad coaches high school teams, and so I'm able to get in the gym, shoot a little bit during the summer usually, and that was affected a little bit because all the gyms were closed and everything like that. So.
Did you have a concern at one point that maybe you wouldn't get to have your senior season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like there still is a concern because you just never know what's going to happen. Things change the week before, and hopefully we'll just get to have the whole season.
I mentioned at the onset you are the only senior on this team. I'm sure you have a responsibility in terms of leadership. How has that sort of evolved for you?
I'm captain this year, so hopefully everything will just go smoothly. I want to be like an advocate for the girls, bring some ideas to coach and the team, and just really hope everything goes good and we get to play. So
when you talked about the off season and maybe some difficulties of getting those regular reps and getting into the gym, when you were able to do that, what was your biggest area of focus?
Probably driving to the hoop. That's probably always been one of my strengths, and I haven't had the confidence to do so in the last few years, so I really want to focus on having that confidence to be able to drive. And I mean threes for sure. I practice a lot of.
There's a number of contributors who were back last year. You did lose 3 seniors from last year's squad, but amongst the players coming back, who do you think might have a breakout year?
I think a lot of the returners are going to have a good year. I know Jelly and Keegan, they put in some hard work over the summer, and I think they'll really be scorers for the team.
There's also a massive group of freshmen that come in. I'm sure that's exciting to add all these new talented young ladies. What stood out about that group?
Their attitude is really good. I think they just have a positive attitude. They're always like ready for practice, ready to do anything, and I think that's going to be really good for this team.
Seems like you've added a lot of size with those young players as well. How might that help?
Yeah, yes, for sure. Rebounding, especially because we lost Emma. I mean, Delaney, even too, from last year was a big rebounder on the team. So just hopefully they'll be replacing Emma with rebounds for sure.
When you look at this upcoming season, what goals do you have for the team? What goals do you have for yourself?
For the team, I think we all have the goal of making it to playoffs this year because sadly last year we didn't, but we just really like going and being able to go through that experience. For myself is definitely to become a scorer of the team and have a lot of confidence in the season.
Lastly, you're now entering your 4th year with this program. What has been your favorite moment involving Carlow basketball so far?
Definitely all the friends I've made, and going to the Virgin Islands was definitely one of the coolest tournaments ever, I would say. But the friends and the coaches, I mean, I love them all, so that would probably be my best memory.
And you also got to hit a buzzer beater last year, right?
Yes.
I'm sure that will be a fond memory.
That was a good one too, yeah.
Well, so hopefully you can make even more memories now heading into your senior season.
Yes.
That is Ashlyn Jonczak, the senior for the Celtics, here on the season preview. We continue here on the season preview. I'm Sean Meyers, joined by a junior for the Celtics, Megan Ost. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
Obviously, in the middle of practice, working up a lather. How good does it feel to be back out on the court?
It feels so great. Like, it just feels good to be with everyone and to be practicing and hopefully going as far as we can.
That being said, there's a lot of protocols in place. We're both wearing masks right now. What have been some of the biggest adjustments to that?
Not playing with everyone. For 2 weeks, we had to play in 2 pods, so half the team was split up, so it was kind of a learning curve, figuring out how to play with everyone now and then playing with the people that we had before.
Pretty much right after your last season ended, that's when COVID struck and people were in quarantine for months. How did you work on your game during that time?
Mainly just running and like doing a whole bunch of like home workouts. They were pretty cool, but just basically running. There wasn't much I could really do.
So you're going to be in better shape this season?
Yeah. With
Good.
running wise, I don't know about strength.
That's always a good benefit. You have probably a pretty big role because you were the top returning scorer and rebounder. So what do you envision for this season individually?
I really want to work on my out of the paint plays, so like shooting long twos and dribbling maybe a little bit, but mainly just rebounding and continuing with scoring and stuff.
Well, you mentioned rebounding and scoring. What do you think are some of your best attributes on the floor?
Being tall.
That's a good one to have.
Yeah, just rebounding basically and being able to see over everyone. I think I have a really good advantage with that, like learning where to pass to and just seeing the floor a little bit better.
Well, so much about rebounding is an anticipation of where the ball might go. How have you sort of learned that over the years?
So someone's shooting on like the opposite side, I kind of go to the opposite side of them, and I don't know, just come like after a lot of practice, it came to me. I don't know.
So your roster is primarily juniors, of which you're one,
Yeah.
and a big group of freshmen. There's only one sophomore and one senior. So how has everyone kind of gelled together?
2 sophomores, but everyone's gelled together pretty well. I really like our freshman class that came in. Everyone seems to be wanting to work hard, and having that big freshman class has made everyone older work even harder to keep their spots, and everyone's just playing super aggressive, and I think we're really going to have a really good season.
To that point, what are some of the expectations you have for the team?
winning and going as far as we can. That's my biggest goal. If we make it to playoffs, I don't know, with everything that could happen, I just want to go as far as we can.
What game or maybe games are you most looking forward to this season?
All of them. All the games that we can get is what I'm looking forward to.
Certainly you don't take anything for granted after
No.
the offseason we had, huh?
Right, yeah, it kind of sucked seeing how everything ended, and honestly, I'm just itching to get back out there and play.
That is Megan Ost, a junior for the Celtics here on the season preview.